Hi friends, welcome back to The View From Here, the Faith Walk in Real Time. Pardon me, my name is Lisa Gallimore. I am the author of this blog, and I'd like to take a moment to welcome you, to thank you for taking a few minutes just to hang out with me. If you are a regular reader, you're going to notice something different this week, as I have chosen to do the first video, which I will let you know what I'm hoping to accomplish by that a little bit later in the video. For right now, I would just like to do a basic introduction. Again, my name is Lisa Gallimore, and I would like to let you know a little bit about my blog, what I do, and why I do it, as reflected in the title, The View From Here, the Faith Walk in Real Time. My whole entire blog is about faith. My faith, your faith, our faith in Jesus, and our faith walk in very real time as we are walking it out every day right here on this earth. And what my hope is that we can make it easier for each other, that I can lend some insight. We can make our walks more loving, more cohesive, and just make the journey a little more joyful and effective. So that is my goal with the blog. And why I'm doing this, I'll give you a little bit of history on that. About 3.5 years ago, the Lord really spoke to my heart and let me know that I needed to be using my God-given gift, and truly was God-given, of communication, just for the good of people, kind of keeping it to myself. I love to write. It just lights me up inside. I love to communicate. I love to speak. But it's just really difficult to know how to get started in that. Fortunately, He placed family and friends, loving family and friends around me that said, hey Lisa, you probably need to get up with technology and start a blog. So I had a lot of fear to fight through with that, but decided to go ahead and put myself out there and put my writings out there and start a blog. And I have loved every moment of it. It's been a journey for sure, and it's been a little bit challenging. And anytime you put yourself out there, you're kind of vulnerable to criticisms or critiques. But it has been a wonderful journey and a joyous one, and it was an outlet for me to be able to use my gifts and talents, hopefully to help other people. So that's kind of how all this came to be, and that is the purpose of my blog. As with any new endeavor or business, you probably should have, I'm thinking, a mission statement, something that calls you back and that you can recenter and refocus, so when you're making decisions like this, like whether to put up a video, it will help you make those choices. I honestly just developed my ministry statement probably about a week ago, and my ministry statement is I'm going all out so I can be all in. So what that means is exactly what it says. I'm going to go all out. I'm going to do whatever's necessary, whatever I'm called to do, whatever fear I have to break through, so I can be all in for Jesus and spend whatever precious limited time we all have on the face of this earth trying to just help people and allow them to know God and help them to not feel alone on this journey on the face of the earth, so that we can all walk through this together. So that is my ministry statement. I do consider my blog a ministry, and so that's my ministry statement. And the reason for the video is, although I've loved my journey and I've loved my writing and the blogging, and it's all been great, the one piece that's missing is relationship. It's very difficult in the blogging world to have relationship and have communication, because it's all very one-sided. I'm writing, you're reading. Once in a while I get some very nice comments, and I do love those always. But the fact is, I don't get to know you, and I really don't get to hear from you, even though you get to hear a bunch from me. So unless you're going to church with me or I'm in your community some other way, I don't really get the opportunity to know you. So my hope here is to create a community around this blog, and I really want to know you. So I'm hoping that we're going to get some interaction. We were born for relationship, friends. That's just the way it is. We were created by God and for God, and that intimates relationship. When He created humans, He created man, He created woman. It was good for them to be together. It was not good for him to be alone. That again intimates relationship. So we were born to be relational and in relationship with each other, and that's what I'm hoping to create here. As a matter of fact, one of my favorite movies, You've Got Mail, there's a conversation between the male lead and the female lead, and they're talking about relationships and the division between business and personal. Now the male lead stands by that he thinks there is a distinct division between business and personal. And then the female lead replies to that with something that I think is absolutely brilliant. She says, whatever anything else is, it ought to begin by being personal. And I do think that's brilliant, and I do believe that that's true. It ought to begin by being personal. So I'm trying to bring that personalized piece into my blog, and that's why the video, so you get to see me, and hopefully I'm going to cause some interaction so that I'm going to get to know you. And that is the purpose of adding the video onto the blog. So here's what we're going to do. I am going to just pose a question. And what I'm hoping is that you're going to come back and make comments on my blog and let me know your thoughts and your feelings and why you believe the way you do in response to the question. And in that way, we're going to have some interaction. Then next week, when we do the next video, we're going to go over some of those comments and just kind of talk about that a little bit together. And then I'll let you know what my take is on the whole thing. I'm not going to let you know now, because quite frankly, that could change between now and then after I read all of your comments and all the wonderful feedback that I know I'm going to get. So, and also just to let you know, my videos will never go more than 8 to 10 minutes. Anything longer than that, I think people clock out, I clock out. So I will try to keep them brief. So please, when you see them though, tune in so you can figure out what the question is for the next week. The question that we're going to ask this week comes from a book, one of my favorite books, Love Does, by Bob Goff. He's great. If you haven't had a chance to read him, please do that. These books are just excellent, can absolutely be life-changing, but he is great. In here, Bob talks about the fact that he always had a fire and a passion. He wanted to be an attorney, but it did not appear he was going to be built for that exactly. He failed the LSATs miserably. Did not get into law school the first time, but through persistence and tenacity, he finally did make it into law school and is a successful attorney. Spoiler alert. Anyway, the deal is, and the question I want to pose today is, when something is very difficult like that, or when it appears that a door is closed or very hard to push on, how do you know when to knock? How do you know when to push harder? How do you know if it's God telling you to go in a different direction, or that maybe this just isn't the thing for you? Or how do you know when to persist? Is it, circumstance by circumstance, case by case? Anyway, I want to know what you feel about that. I know what my reaction statistically or historically has been. If anything comes against me like that, then I tend to just fold up camp. Done. This is probably not what I should have done. If it's too hard, then I'm not going to go forward with it. Now, I'm not saying that's what I believe is right. I'm not going to give you my opinion on that just now, but I just know that traditionally has been my response, and maybe you've had some similar responses. So I am super excited to hear back from you. So I want you to just absolutely blow up the comment section of my blog and let me know. You can relate stories or experiences, or just why you feel the way you do, and how you believe about this, and when it's time to push and when it's time to stop, and just how to know that. I think this is a very functional, very practical, faith-based question. So our other questions other weeks will be the same way. So I'm looking forward to talking to you next week when we get together again, and we can go over some of your comments, and then I will have another faith-based, functional question that we can all think about for the next week and respond to, and hopefully again develop our community together as believers and as faith walkers. So thank you. It's been good just to be able to get to know you this way. I hope to hear from you, and I will have my regular post up on Thursday, so please look for that. That will be my writing. Again, looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you for stopping by, and I will see you soon.